They are 2 miles apart. They share a river. And half the people on one side couldn't tell you why they didn't pick the other side. Richmond and Rosenberg, Texas, twin cities in Fort Bend County, just southwest of Houston. But once you look past the basically the same place reputation, the differences are actually pretty significant. Home prices, schools, population growth, even who lives there. It's not as close as people think. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which one fits your life better. Let's get started. Location and size. Both cities sit in Fort Bend County, one of the fastest growing counties in Texas, roughly 30 miles south of downtown Houston. Richmond is the county seat, which gives it the courthouse, the county government, and a historic downtown core that dates back to the 1800s. Rosenberg sits just south and west of Richmond, and it is bigger of the two by a wide margin. And of 2026 estimates, Rosenberg population sits around 44,600 people, and it's been growing at roughly 2.3% per year. Richmond, in contrast, has an official population of around 13,800, though that's misleading because Richmond zip codes actually stretch across a huge, sprawling area that includes fast-growing master plan communities. In fact, the broader Richmond zip code footprint covers over 200,000 residents when you include areas like Pecan Grove and other unincorporated communities that use a Richmond mailing address. So, Richmond as a mailing address is enormous. But Richmond as an actual incorporated city is small and dense around a historic core. Rosenberg, on the other hand, is a true standalone city with its own government, its own identity, and a population that's almost entirely inside of the city. Let's talk money. Let's talk money because this is usually the deciding factor. As of 2026, the median household sale price range in Richmond was around $320,000, and homes were spending about 31 days on the market. Rosenberg's median sale price was close behind at $323,000, but Rosenberg homes were sitting on the market longer, about 64 days, suggesting a slightly less competitive, slower moving market. On overall cost of living, Rosenberg comes in close to the national average. Some indices put it about 1% above average, while others put it at 6 to 11% below average, depending on the mythological and year. Largely because Rosenberg housing costs run noticeably lower than the national average for renters. Richmond cost of living tends to average out close to the national number too, but with a wider spread, Richmond has pockets of expensive new building subdivisions alongside older, more affordable housing stock near the downtown area. Bottom line, housing prices are nearly identical between the two cities right now, but Rosenberg tends to offer more affordable rental options, while Richmond has more price variety depending on which part of its sprawling zip code that you're in. Jobs and economy. Household income tells an interesting story. Rosenberg median household income is around $65,700, noticeably higher than Richmond's roughly $50,300. But Richmond actually has the lower poverty rate of the two, about 15.7% compared to Rosenberg's 20.2%. That combination, lower average income but lower poverty, points to income inequality being more spread out in Richmond, with both lower income historical neighborhoods and higher income new developments pulling the average in different directions. On jobs, both cities benefit from Fort Bend County's strong economy, which is anchored by the energy, manufacturing, and healthcare employers, including major players like Halliburton, Schlumberger, Baker Hughes, and Fluor Corporation, most of which are concentrated in the broader Richmond, Rosenberg, Sugarland corridor. Neither city is a huge standalone job market. Most residents commute towards Sugarland or Houston, but Richmond, as the county seat, has a steady base of government and also legal jobs that are tied to the courthouse. Schools. Schools are usually the number one factor for families, and this is where it gets complicated, because both cities are split across multiple school districts. Richmond is zoned across both Lamar Consolidated ISD and Fort Bend ISD, depending on the exact neighborhood. Rosenberg is almost entirely served by Lamar CISD. Lamar CISD has built a strong reputation in the Houston suburbs for newer facilities and steady growth, driven by the district's ongoing bond programs to keep up with the population increases. Fort Bend ISD. Fort Bend ISD is a larger, more established district covering a wide swath of the county, with a track record of strong academic programs, but also more crowded in some of its older schools. Because school zoning in both cities depend heavily on the specific subdivision or zip codes rather than the city limits themselves. This is one area where you really need to check the exact address before assuming which district and which specific school your kids will be attending. Demographics and community. Demographically, both cities are diverse, but they lean differently. Rosenberg population is roughly 30% white, 19% characterized as another race, close to 15% black, about 9% Asian, with a significant and growing Hispanic population reflected across these categories. Richmond Incorporated core is majority Hispanic, and roughly 49% of residents, followed by white and black residents, each 22 to 23%. Richmond also skews older on the average. Median age around 33.6 versus Rosenberg 32.8. And Richmond's still incorporated population combined with its historical downtown gives it a quieter, more small town feel at its core, even though it's surrounded by sprawling new development. Rosenberg feels more like a self-contained, mid-sized suburban city with its own retail corridors, its own identity, and a stronger sense this is one place rather than a patchwork of subdivisions. Lifestyle, commute, and things. To do commute, both cities are comparable. Houston is roughly 30 miles away from either downtown core, and residents typically drive in via US 59, with some using Metro's van pool program for shared commuting. Neither city has heavy rail transit, so this is a car-dependent part of Texas regardless of which one you pick. For day-to-day life, Rosenberg has more retail density, a livelier commercial strip, while Richmond leans on its historical downtown. The Fort Bend County Fair areas are nearby, and cultural draws tied to its role as the county seat, including museums, historical sites, reflecting its 19th century roots. Both cities host the Fort Bend County Fair, a major regional event held every year in October. Final verdict. So, which one should you actually pick? If you want a larger, more affordable rental market, a stronger sense of civic identity, and don't mind a mid-sized suburban feel, Rosenberg edges it out, especially for renters and young professionals watching their budget. Now, if you want proximity to historic charm, don't mind navigating a patchwork of school zones, and are drawn to newer master plan communities, technically under the Richmond mailing address. Richmond's sprawling footprint gives you more variety, especially for buyers. Honestly, for most people, the deciding factor won't be the city line at all. It will be the specific subdivision, the specific school zone, and the specific commute. These two cities are close enough that you can live in one and never really notice you crossed into the other. That's the breakdown. That's the breakdown, Richmond versus Rosenberg, Texas. Let me know in the comments which one you'd pick, or if you already live in Fort Bend County, tell us what we got right and what we got wrong. If this helped you, drop a like, subscribe for more Texas relocation comparisons. See you in the next one. And remember, I am Robert Jeff Johnson, Real Broker LLC, DJ&J Properties. Who do you know looking to buy, sell, lease, invest in Fort Bend or the greater Houston area?